Good afternoon. Welcome to the 415. I'm Raina Starr. That's frightening enough. With me momentarily will be my co-host, the amazing Star Bustamante. The 415 is brought to you by House of Black Hat Magic, wildhunt.org, and the incredible, amazingly wicked Dorothy Morrison. Please check out dorothymorrison.com for all of your Dorothy Morrison needs. We got a crazy one for you today. We don't even know where to start. There's so many places to start, though. It's mind-boggling. Say hello, Star. I said, say hello, Star. Say hello, Star. Star is not hearing me at the moment, apparently.
I am hearing you. I'm here.
Oh, I said, say hello, Star.
Hello, Star.
There you go. All right. So let me start off with a scream. Hang on. All right. So the amount of fuckery. Oh, by the way, we curse on this show. So if you have delicate ears, don't listen. But you're going to want to because I mean, there's things happening so fast right now, we can't even keep up with the barrage as it's falling out of Trump's mouth. So, as we know, all kinds of things are under attack right now, especially the truth. It occurred to me this morning that the rewriting of things is happening at such a fast pace that in a few short years, it's going to be such that people growing up in the next decade may never know the truth about government or what we the people meant or any of the things that you and I grew up knowing as children. They're rewriting things, they're taking things out of the Smithsonian, which I found frighteningly fascinating. Um, it's such a cluster of insanity, and this is how Trump is planning to remain in power, regardless of whether or not anybody likes it. So obviously, by gerrymandering the shit out of everything. And making sure that there's no way Republicans don't win, and anyone that doesn't swear allegiance to him is wiped from the face of government, including people he installed himself or elected to have put into place. He has no loyalty inherently for people that he thought once were his friends. He will wipe them out instantly without a second thought. So, all of the loyalists, if they do not stay 100% in his corner, he has no problem wiping those people out of the government and making them persona non grata. Now, I thought the whole Epstein thing was a trip and a half because that was a self imposed error. But apparently, he's protecting not just himself because he grabs women by the pussy, as he was proud to announce. That was something that he could say in public. He also at one point said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and everybody would be fine with it. He's made lots of bold statements over his time as a public person and a political person. Things I would never have thought would have been able to be gotten away with. But so now we find ourselves in this Giselle or Ghislaine Maxwell situation. And for whatever reason, in spite of all of the heinous things he has said he could get away with, he's hiding something that he must feel is so much worse in this situation. Although I can't for the life of me figure out what is worse than all of the aforementioned things, including other things such as if he wasn't, if Ivanka wasn't his daughter, he would be dating her. These are all things you can look up as provable statements he has made. So I can't imagine what the fuck is worse, gross, disgusting, what else there could be. So I'm not sure. I don't get it. I don't understand the premise. I can't imagine who he's protecting because I can't imagine any of his supporters are any worse than he is. I can't even start to put my finger on that. What say you, Star? Do you have a theory? Do you have a supposition? What do you got? What are your thoughts?
Well, okay, so first of all, I think that you're trying to have you ever had a conversation with a crazy person and
Yes.
and like things that would be rational and reasonable uh to you, like they
Hmm.
can't, like where they're coming from is beyond your ability to comprehend
Yes.
because they're off in crazy land, right? So I
Yes.
think part of the problem here is you're trying to apply some kind of rational um, metric to what's happening, and the things that we think would be awful are, I mean, if you just look at what this administration has done so far, like, yeah, it's really bad and awful and just ew. But so who knows what in his mind would be worse. I mean, this is a man that has been accused of rape. He was convicted of sexual assault. Um,
Hmm.
so I mean, none of that seems to have phased him. Uh, the only
Yeah.
thing that is, I mean, and many of the girls that he allegedly assaulted and who claim that he had raped them, they were underage. So, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, from a rational standpoint, it could be that what was it that the governor of Louisiana said that way back in the day, that the worst things that could happen to you politically were to be caught in bed with a dead girl or a live boy.
Yeah.
Um,
That's correct.
uh, so
Yeah.
I mean, and that is the era that his brain is operating in to a point, I think. Um, but I think it's hard to say, and I think that you're trying to apply a rational norm type of metric to someone who lives in a completely different reality than the rest of the world. So
But
I don't.
but the
I
truth
got
is,
nothing. I got
but
nothing.
here's the thing. He seems to make his version of reality work for him though, because he knows at this particular stage that he is as unpopular can be. Even his supporters are turning on him, which I'm like, yay, which is fantastic. But again, too little, too late. The time for him to be unpopular was before they let him back in the White House. Ridiculous. And my concern is that you cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. Um, the minute you let him back in office, I'm sorry, the game was already over. And I know that other people disagree with me. Other people think we can get back on top of this shit, but I'm like, really? Because all right, let's start with the gerrymandering situation. Let's start with that. So he is trying to redistrict everything so that Republicans never lose again. This is something you and I talked about. This is something you and I tried to explain to the folks. The folks were not hearing it. Now they're seeing it. Too late. I mean, do I think what the Texas Democrats are doing is going to stop anything? No, I think it's going to slow it down. But these psychos are the Republican psychos are trying. I mean, Governor Hot Wheels is like, "Hey, let's go arrest them." And I mean, and who's going to stop them? Everything, Trump owns everything now. He owns every Republican, whether they agree with him or not. I mean, even Tom Tillis, what is he going to do? How is he going to stop him? Nobody's going to stop anybody. They're just all leaving. They're abdicating all responsibility. See, there's no adult left to stop this shit from happening. This is what I'm concerned about. Go ahead. Talk me
Well,
down. Talk me down.
okay. So, okay, so here there's a couple of things. Um, First of all, a lot of what as you referred to him, Governor Hot Wheels. I like that, by the way.
That's my
Um,
husband's. Yeah.
uh,
Greg Abbott.
so there, yeah, Abbott. So there's first of all, like they've been saying, uh, wasn't it Cornyn that said that the FBI should go and arrest them? Okay, so first of all, what they're doing is not, so the Democrats are not violating federal law, which means that the FBI technically cannot, they cannot get involved. And honestly, I don't, if they do, then they're setting a precedent that that even they probably will not go along with. But then, uh, what's the Attorney General Paxson? Isn't that his name?
I have
From
no
Texas.
idea. I don't know.
He's a giant douchebag, but he was saying that they would just remove them from office, which they also, under their own constitution, the state constitution of Texas does not allow for that either. So I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of blowhard stuff going on that, when it comes right down to it, I don't think that they can really. They're not going to do anything. Now they can try, but if the FBI were to get involved, that's crossing some pretty hardcore lines. But I think in all of this, okay, so here's the thing that I think is, what is going to be the tipping point is the big question. And I think it's kind of bizarre that the Epstein thing looks like, for the MAGA base, that is going to be the tipping point for many of them. And they are, everything that the administration and the GOP are doing to kind of refute that is kind of hilarious, because it's like they're just digging themselves in deeper and deeper every day, and it's not playing well with their base at all, right?
Yeah.
So, but I also think that what this is going to take in order for, us to hit that tipping point, is that enough people are going to have to be completely fed up with all of it. And now keep in mind, we are still not really seeing the full impact of all this tariff shit, right?
Well, the tariff shit is getting ready to impact now because that
Mhm.
August 1st date has passed, or August 5th date, whichever one it was, where all the big tariffs are now in play. And so we're not going to see that for another number of weeks. And that's another story altogether. But I want to go back to your point earlier about crazy and applying logic to illogical people.
Mhm.
I also want you to remember that this is also the same team that some people said would never be able to deport American citizens, and we saw that that was a whole bunch of bullshit too. So I don't put anything past these motherfuckers.
Right. Well, and I mean, and you're right in the sense that whatever the baseline norm was, okay, like I don't even know that there is a baseline norm anymore.
Exactly. That's the
Um,
point.
but
Exactly.
once again, okay, in many of these cases, what we have seen over and over again is that once the public outcry hits a certain pitch, then there is a swift reversal of whatever nonsense they're trying to get pushed through. And so I think that that's important, and I think it's the only thing really holding them in check. That, and the fact that they know that they can't get all of us. They can't they can't get all of us. Um, so I mean, so there is that. But if you look at, yeah, you can die from 1,000 cuts, but we're not there yet. And as long as we're not, and as long as people are willing to push back and continue to push, then I mean, I think that is the key. And I think that, he is losing ground every day. And we need to not forget that. We need to not forget the fact that people are increasingly unhappy. Even the morons that voted for him are increasingly unhappy with how things are progressing and going, and they're realizing that this is not at all how they thought that this was going to be. um, you know and I don't want to get into the whole, their lack of comprehension or any of that, but I think that is the tipping point. At what point do we get to the place where it's too much? And I think that we're soon to see that, because once we start to really see the economic impact of these tariffs, and you are seeing it, I am seeing it, select industries are seeing it, uh, but it's not, by any means, it is not widespread. And I think a lot of people are not really, they're still not paying attention. But I mean, I have noticed when I go to the grocery store how much every week prices are going up. And just wait until the coffee prices go up.
I can't. I
Yeah,
can't. I
it's
can't. Let
it's
me let me just say this. The salaciousness of the whole Epstein thing, it's disgusting. The fact
mhm,
that it's a story about the harming of young children, and I'm sorry, these were young children. This is about the sexual exploitation and and utter harm of young people. The fact that it has to be something so disgusting that's this titillating bullshit, and that's what's gotten everybody's attention. It wasn't bad enough that you know this person in office had already been um, convicted of inappropriate contact with adults. Now there's this whole story about this creep he was friends with, that he was friends with for a long time, that was engaged in all this pedophilia, and who knows the extent that the president was involved. Who knows? Who knows how many people? Who knows how many donors he's protecting? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? And the fact that this has to be the thing, and these poor girls have to, they're women now, the ones who have survived it. Let's not forget that somebody committed suicide this year over it.
mhm.
Um, it's so sad that this is the society we live in, that this is the one of the things that people are like, oh no, we can't get past this thing. That it's this type of story that's a bridge too far for some people. Like, anybody getting harmed should have been a bridge too far. Why does it have to be the most salacious, horrible thing in the world? Why couldn't you stop him before now? Why couldn't you even speak against him before now? What if it was your daughter he had touched? What if it was your sister he had touched? Why was it okay until Epstein? Why? But you knew he was his friend then. You saw pictures of them together then. But now, all of a sudden now, Now we're talking about it. And he's the one who fucking brought it up. Nobody had been talking about Epstein. Elon Musk brought up Epstein. Who gives a shit what Elon Musk is talking about? All of a sudden, your heads are on a fucking swivel. I don't know what y'all people are thinking, what you all believe in. Obviously, it's not anything concrete or of importance. I mean, these girls are what you should be concerned about, these women and what they've gone through and how their lives have been shaped by these horrors. And it should have been way before fucking now. Where
They
were
don't.
you? Where were
You
you when this shit first came out? Why does it have to be about a president? Why weren't you there when the trials were happening? Why weren't you there when Ghislaine was fucking on trial? Why weren't you stamping your feet for her blood? Why? I mean, she instructed these girls. She fucking recruited these girls,
Mhm.
and now she's in a downgraded prison that she's like a fucking in Club Fed? Are you kidding me? She's as bad, if not worse. She procured these girls like bottles of perfume. What the fuck is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you?
Well, okay, so again, I'm just going to point out that you're trying to apply a metric to a group of people that do not care. They certainly don't care about women, and they don't care about girls. And if you look at this from a dominionist point of view, that and the same level of regard that they have for women and
Children
children,
that are
you know
born. Yeah.
they're they are tools to be used as they see fit. So you cannot apply the same metric. It just doesn't work. They have a completely different take on things. But also, um I think that the only reason that people have their knickers in a twist is likely because this goes much deeper than Trump, and it's going to blow back. They're worried about blowback on themselves. So,
They
uh,
just want names. As far as I can see, this is just about naming names and finding out more salacious details and who was there and when and how many girls they had. I don't think it's any further than that. I think it's just all about salaciousness and feeding fantasy and being disgusting. That's all I think it is. Because what are you going to do? Who are you going to help with this information once you get it? What difference does it make? We know Trump's name is in the file. I don't even know that he did anything wrong. He may not have done anything wrong. It doesn't even seem to be his that much of his style. He talks big, but he doesn't do shit. You know, what's the thing they call him now? Taco. Trump always uh, chickens out.
mhm.
I'm sure he does that. He talks a big game, but he doesn't really do anything anyway. And if he does, he should be punished. And I don't care how many Democrats are on that fucking list. They should all be punished. Everybody should be punished. You touch a child, you deserve what's coming. Just like in all of these wars and shit that are going on, if you kill a child, you deserve what's coming to you. No matter what side you're on, whose side you're on, whatever, you hurt a kid, you're done. Period. There should be no quarter. There should be no anything. You hurt a kid, you're done. Period. Period. I don't care. Israeli, Palestinian, Hamas, you hurt children, you're over. Children do not decide to be in wars. Innocent victims do not deserve to be victims. It's not cool. Anybody not I can't even don't get me going. Don't get me fucking going.
All
I
right.
got other I got other things. So let's talk about the Smithsonian. Let's talk about the erasure of history and truth. Can we talk you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Uh,
So, so this. first popped up on my feed, I think last night, um, that, and the thing about this that really kind of, like, I can't wrap my head around, like, do they think nobody's watching? So the uh, website for the Constitution, they removed um, sections 8, 9, and 10, all of the ones that refer to uh, habeas corpus and due process, and also the limits on presidential authority. And then, of course, someone noticed, probably seconds after it was changed, because there are groups that do nothing but monitor all of this, right? Like, so I think the thing that blows my mind the most is, how is it, I mean, did they think that no one would notice, that they would just go in and change the stuff and no one would notice? Because uh like, I don't know what country they're living in, but there are people that have nothing better to do in this country than monitor sites and surf the web all damn day long. And if you change one frigging letter or a comma, the punctuation, whatever, somebody's going to know, somebody's going to notice, and then they're going to start talking about it. So that, for me, that's like like, they just thought nobody would notice. Immediately, almost immediately, uh, the was it the Smithsonian that said that it was a coding error, and then I think it's been restored, hasn't it? I haven't had a chance to.
Not to my knowledge. I don't know if it's been restored yet. I hope it will be, but I'm telling you, this scares the living shit out of me, because once you start jacking around with truth and hiding information or misplacing information or changing information, um, this scares me for the future. I had mentioned to you earlier, this is how I feel things got changed religiously. I believe that the messing around of information, this is how things go from one religion to another, where gods and goddesses get written out of things, conveniently to make churches happy or make certain sectors of populations happy. Um, they dumb down things that were not dumbed down previously, and laws start changing. This is not a new concept. This is not a new way to do things. We're intelligent and learned, and we're exposed to all kinds of information. So for us in this society, or this version of society, this seems absurd and like it's never happened before. But let me remind listeners, this has been going on in different forms and functions for years and years and years and years and years. Throughout, ever since there were people, stories have been manipulated and changed so that certain factions could control certain other factions. This is how the other got controlled, whether the other were of a different color or a different caste or a different level of um, money or a different level of society. This is how control of people happens. You change the reality or the perception of reality. Whether you know something to be true or not, this is how the people in power change and shape society to suit themselves, by reteaching everyone else what they want the truth to be as opposed to what the truth actually is. Did you find anything
Yeah,
on that?
yeah, it was restored, I think, almost immediately. So so they did, and when I just looked just now, um, I went to the state, the us.gov,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all there,
Okay.
which again also illustrates my point of, pushback works. Pushback works. How many times has something like this occurred and the pushback is fierce and immediate and they back the fuck up. Um, so for everybody who says, "Oh, your lame protests, your calls, your whatever, they don't matter," um, you know,
No, they do. They
they
do
do matter,
matter.
and those are Russian propaganda talking points, right? That none of it matters. That it doesn't matter. It does matter. It all matters,
Hmm.
and so I'm just going to take this opportunity to remind people that you can use 5 calls and you can use it every day. And
Hmm.
writing, even if you have a shitty representative like I do, Chuck Edwards and Tom Tillis and whatever that other douchebag's name is that I can't even remember. Um, I send them mean letters like pretty much every day. They are probably so sick if somebody has to read them all, and they are probably really sick of getting my little petitions and my emails. I do resist bot regularly. Um, so, uh, but you can do 5 calls. You can use resist bot. If you go to Indivisible to 5051, they all have a massive amount of ways for you to push back.
Yep.
And and look, nobody says you have to do all of this shit every day, but
You
the
can do it weekly. You can do it weekly. We do it weekly. Every
Mhm.
week. Every week you can do something. It doesn't have to be every single day, but even during your lunch hour, you can auto send a whole lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
You can
Oh
auto
yeah.
send, set it up on your computer. They have made, listen, Windows is makes life very easy. I'm just saying. And it's okay if you resend the same shit. They still have to open it. They still have to read it.
Well,
You don't even have to be that goddamn creative, kids. You don't.
and when you call, they have to write down what you
What you
say.
say, that's
They have
right.
to. Someone has to answer the phone and write down what it is that you are saying. Um, you know, so I strongly urge, and hey, I get it. The fatigue is real. There are some days I can't even listen to the Daily Beans. I can't even look at blue sky because it's like it's too much. But we all need to take breaks, and that's important. It's important for our mental health and to remember that we're a fucking choir. We're not all soloists, and some of us are, at times are carrying for the rest of us, and then that when they need to drop out, then some of us have to step up and fill that gap until we need to take a break. But the key is that as long as we are all doing something
Hmm.
periodically, that
Yeah.
is how it works. And when there's a big call for something major, then
We
uh,
jump in.
we jump in, which the next flaming piece of shit on the list is um, the moron that they have put in place uh, of health. He's health secretary, isn't he? Isn't that what he is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. RFK Jr. announced, was it yesterday? Yesterday, that they were terminating all of the funding for the mRNA vaccines and technology, which somebody told me today that there's that the he can't they can't do that.
Right.
Plus also yesterday in the news was the uh, UCLA and all of their funding being cut. There's a
Hmm.
tremendous pushback on that, and the courts have ruled in UCLA's favor that they just can't do that. So, I mean, I think we've got to do everything. We have got to do all the things. And that doesn't mean that you and I have to do all of the things, but it means that collectively we have got to do all the things. We've got to push back. And now Democrats are, you know, we're starting to see some teeth and claws come out, which I'm not sorry to see.
No,
But um,
but here's the problem. We still don't have, and I've been screaming about this since the last election. And the fact of the matter is that we have got to pick the leader of the party, and we've got to do it fucking soon. Now, I understand quite well that the next presidential election, is not for a couple of years. I get that. But we have to come together and get together as a party, and we have to put somebody in that position. I don't want to hear any bullshit about I didn't know about them, or I wasn't asked about them, or I nobody wanted my opinion, so I'm not going to do what everybody's doing. I don't want to hear any of this bullshit ever again. I've heard that crap too many goddamn times. If you want to have a fucking say, get fucking involved now. Do not wait until 6 months before the actual goddamn election. You want your voice to count? Make that shit count now. Do not wait for an engraved invitation. Do not get pissy if you don't get what you want, but you didn't decide to say anything until it was too goddamn late. Now is when these decisions are being fucking made. You want to know who's running? Go fucking inspect everybody who you think might be running. Do you think Pete Buttigieg might be running? I think he might be running. I'm throwing my support behind him. You think somebody else might be running? Go find out what their platform is. If you like them, get the fuck behind them. Again, I'm going to say Pete Buttigieg. Why? Because I think Pete Buttigieg can win. Why? Because he can talk to anyone, and does and has and will. And I think he can fucking win because he's articulate, but he doesn't talk down to anybody. And I think he's going to make a fucking fantastic president. And I think he's a president for the fucking people. There you go, Pete. I'm drafting your ass. There you go. So I'm just saying, don't wait. Don't fucking wait and then wonder why nobody asked me. I'm tired of that bullshit whining. I'm tired of that bullshit crying. I'm saying, you want to know what's happening? Figure it out now. Don't wait until it's too goddamn late and the decisions have already been made. Make your voice fucking known. Make it heard. I just did, and I'm fucking nobody. Go on there. Get out there. Make some noise. Find out who might be interested in running. It's not that fucking hard to figure out. Think Gavin Newsom might be interested in running? I think he might be. It's a definite possibility. Gee, do you think Andrew Cuomo might be interested in running if he doesn't make it as mayor of New York? Yeah, he might be. You better go fucking investigate that bullshit. There's a lot of people who might want to run. You may want to find Kamala Harris. That's a
no,
possibility.
she's already said she's not going to run
Yeah,
for governor, and that she.
yeah. She said she's not going to run. No, excuse me, ma'am. She said she's not going to run for governor, and that's why I think she's going to run for president. She's currently working on a tour that's not presidentially related because she wants to know what people want, and I think that specifically speaks to running for president. That's my personal opinion. Therefore, I would say you didn't know who she was last time. Maybe you ought to figure out who she is this time. She has a good shot. Just saying. I don't know if she could win. Maybe she could. Why not? We deserve a strong female president. Period. I don't care. I'm getting behind whoever wins the damn nomination. And y'all should too. But at least investigate who the players could possibly be and not wait until the last 6 months before the damn election. I don't want to hear any crying. I don't want to hear any bullshit. I've heard enough of it. I've been listening to y'all for the last 8 to 12 goddamn years with the same crappy answers of why we keep losing. I mean, seriously, get out there and find out the shit before it's too late. You want to know things? Go investigate these people and find out what they stand for and find out what you think they can do for your situation, what they can do for your family situation. Do these people care about your family? Do they seem to have an interest in the cost of living? Do they seem to have an interest in protecting people? Do they seem to have an interest in just making money for themselves, like a certain person who's sitting in the office right now? What kind of a person are they? Can't hurt to find out. And while I'm at it, don't forget to support Wild Hunt. WildHunt.org, the pagan paper of record. Laugh if you want to. It's the pagan paper of record, and you got to get it and support it because, as we already know, the news media business is not what it used to be even a couple of months ago, and now the corporations are being owned by the government. We don't know who to fucking trust on TV anymore. Everybody's got their hands in something, mergers or permission to do this and that comes from the federal government, and you don't know who's being paid off to say or do what. I mean, we can barely trust anybody these days, but I trust wildhunt.org, I'll tell you that much. So get on Wild Hunt. It gets delivered to your inbox. Give it some support, and it'll show you love back. So get to wildhunt.org. Thank you very much. Getting back to our conversation, I'm just saying.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I also think that, I mean, hey, if the Democrats nominated a fucking groundhog, that's who I'm voting for. Okay.
Agreed. But
You
I'm
know,
sick of this complaint of, well, no one, we just got it forced down our throats. This is what we heard about Kamala. We didn't know her, and it was shoved down our throat. No, fuck that. You want to know about people who might be running? Go find out now. Don't wait. Find out now. See who you like. Who do you like? Who do you think you can get behind? Who do you think you can support? It's incumbent upon the people to do some research, to get off their asses and stop waiting to be spoon fed, and maybe dig up some history on what these folks have accomplished, and maybe from that get an idea of what you might like about a person instead of waiting for them to come and entertain you.
well, yeah. But again, people are lazy. They just want, I mean, I think that if there's one thing that we can see from the right wing aspect of things is those people want to be told who to vote for. Um, Democrats are more like herding cats.
And I
Uh,
agree with you. I agree with you. But again, this is the price of the sin of laziness. This is where we are now. This is how we got here, through laziness. Through laziness and wanting
well,
to be patted on the head and told, "Oh, this person's a nice person and this person's a good person." And no, that didn't work. So now that we're being punished through this bullshit and lack of intellectual uh, curiosity, okay, now it's time to put on the big girl panties and go find out some information and maybe give a shit and maybe not be run over by these Republican bullies, specifically MAGA, because there's a lot of Republicans that are not bullies. There are a lot of Republicans who are absolutely decent folk who are regretful of their decision. I actually have had a few Republicans come up to me and say, "I really didn't vote for this asshole, but it's the party line and I can't be found out." And I understand that. I do understand that. But they're like, "I would never have voted for this cunt. I have daughters." I'm like, "Yeah, I dig it." But, you know, it's frightening. It's frightening where we are right now as a nation for our own mental health. And we're a fragile fucking people, which is why we have let so much shit slide. We cannot let this shit slide. We are the most medicated, the most terrified. I have never seen anything like this. I mean, we will go forward and we will bark as loud as we can, but I've never seen a more medicated society. I have never seen a society that has been this quiet and loud at the same time. It's like we want to scream, we want to yell, we want to go nutburger, but at the same time, it's like we're looking for leadership in a party that has all but died. And I know the Democratic Party needs to start over from the ground up, but I don't know who's going to make that happen. Although I will tell you, my person of the year so far, and for last year so far, is Jasmine Crockett, because I worship the ground she walks on. I think she's probably one of the most brilliant people ever and ever. That's it.
Yeah,
I adore her. That's all. And if you
she's
don't know
pretty.
who,
She's
yeah,
pretty
if you don't,
fantastic.
she is. If you don't know who I'm talking about, look up Representative Jasmine Crockett from Texas. She is everything. She's just everything, and she speaks truth to power all the time. And I love
She
her.
did not give a shit. She
No,
does not give a shit. By the way, so apparently the FBI, according to um, uh, Cornyn, has agreed to his request to help track down the Texas state Democrats who left the state.
of course. I told
We'll
you.
we'll see. Well, but we'll see how that works out. They can say that they're going to help. That doesn't necessarily mean um, that they will.
They're not
Um,
even hiding. Here's the thing. There's nothing to track down. I can tell you where they are. They're not
well, yeah,
hiding. They're not
yeah.
hiding.
No, they just left the state.
Yeah.
Uh, well, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But honestly, um, once the pushback starts, and it's already started, will be, it's a stalemate, and it's going to continue to be a stalemate. Um, they can try to bring them back, but how well do you think that's going to go over? You know what I mean? And that's uh, honestly, I don't know. I regret that I cannot stay drunk through the next
Three
you
and a
know
half years.
three and a
Yeah.
half years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I regret that. I really do.
Shit, and I don't even drink. So I've
I
got
can't, well,
nothing.
it doesn't agree with me, so I'm
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, this is all gonna blow up, and when it does, it's gonna be really ugly.
Oh, for sure. For
And I
sure.
feel, but I feel like we're inching closer to that, like,
Mhm.
every day.
Yes, and it's here's the thing. I did not realize how much destruction could be done to democracy and how fast it could happen. I mean, I knew the destruction could happen, but I did not see how much could be done in 6 months. I mean, this was quick. This was some quick shit.
Well, I mean,
Shockingly so.
they're breaking things that are gonna take decades to rebuild, which I
Hmm.
mean, but I think that was the point. Um, this is all a bunch of, old white men who are afraid that they're going to lose their place. It's all about supremacy, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. And yeah, you know, I think historically, all we have to do is survive, basically, because it's gonna blow up in their faces. This has been tried before. It did not work then. Can they do damage? Are they doing damage? They absolutely are. But at the end of the day, they will have fucked a bunch of shit up, no doubt about that. But I think that it does not end up in their favor. It just, the way that this country is structured, and I mean, again, I'm going to point out that we are some of the most belligerent motherfuckers on the planet. Americans are belligerent. We do not like to be told what to do. Um, and it's all, the only way you get people in this country to do anything that you want them to do is they have to think it's their idea. And I think that ship has fucking sailed. And So we will see what happens, but I just do not believe, you might get some people to cooperate for a little while, but I think that ultimately, when pushback really starts to come, not just from the left and the middle, because that's what we're seeing now, but when the right starts really pushing back, and we're already seeing a little bit of that, not a whole lot, but a little bit, that like I said, this does not end well for them, and they already know this, but yet they like, I don't know, it's uh it's insane is what it is. And they will have destroyed our economy, undermined everybody's civil rights, our health. um you know as I said at the top of the show, what is going to be the tipping point? Because there will be a tipping point, and I feel like we're getting to that point uh soon.
Mm.
um have you seen any of the predictions online that they don't that several, um I will say, prominent or well-known pagans, witches slash psychics, have said that they do not believe Trump will make it, like he will expire in office by the fall. Any thoughts on that?
I, you know, I hate to say it, but wishful thinking doesn't necessarily make shit happen. But
True.
I, but I will say this. Who was it? Joni Ernst, who said, "Oh, I hate to tell you that everybody's going to die." Is she the one that came up with that brilliant shit?
Yeah,
Oh,
because that was her response to push back on the cutting of benefits, and
yeah.
yeah, and all of that. And that bitch went to a cemetery to
Mhm.
record her response,
Yeah.
that we were all gonna die anyway. So, as if that justifies anything.
Which
But
it fucking doesn't. And let me just say this to Joni Ernst. We all may be dying, but let me just say this. You first, bitch. You first.
well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck her and the fucking pony she rode in on. But so I think that it's interesting to kind of look at, like, if Trump were to die while in office, I don't think that there's anyone currently in his administration that can manipulate people the way he has done.
No, no. I don't think the power transfers. I don't think there's anybody that can stand in his stead. I don't, for whatever reason, whatever magical ability he has, and I do believe it is a magical ability, um, he's got something. He's got that way about him. He's got that charisma uh, that only holds up when he's wielding it. It doesn't seem to transfer to other people. It certainly, his kids don't fucking have it. Oh, whew,
Yeah.
hell no. I don't see JD Vance having it at all. JD Vance is just such an opportunistic piece of shit. Um,
Well, nobody likes him.
and nobody likes him. I don't see Mike Johnson getting it. Nobody likes him either. I don't see anybody in that cabinet. I mean, Caroline Levitt, for those who don't remember, was the girl in the beauty pageant who said, who, when they were asking her a question on the compulsory part of the pageant, you have to answer questions and pretend you're smart. She went, yes, and such as maps and such as yeah. Remember that famous thing? That was that bitch. Woo! Bright as a dim light bulb with no electricity. So yeah, no, there's nobody. There is nobody, nobody.
Well, I think the whole thing falls apart,
It does.
and
It
I
does.
think I I kind of feel like, you know, that is not outside of the realm of possibility. Especially,
Oh, do
uh,
you think they're going to 25th Amendment him?
no, no,
Okay.
because they need him. They need him too much to apply the. I mean, things that have to will have to get much worse, and they undoubtedly will get much worse, especially if all of these tariffs actually stay in place,
Mm-hmm.
which I kind of don't think that they're gonna. Um, but I certainly could be wrong on that. But I do think that I think his health is much worse than what is being stated, and I think that it is a pretty good possibility that he could, in fact, die in office. I feel like his health is much poorer than most people realize. Just the whole thing with his cankles. Um, I think that
Yeah, but he's passing everything but away. I mean, seriously.
well, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think that should he should he die in office, I think that um, the whole thing just kind of falls apart. The whole
There's
thing falls apart.
there is definitely no replacement for him.
Thank God.
He, well, I mean, for whatever it's worth, again, he's got a charisma. It cannot be denied. He's got a way of speaking to people. He's got that thing. He's got that Clinton thing where they just know how to reach their base, and that's it. They just, you know, the people who love him fucking love him. That's it. That is it. And it's not a transferable power. It's just not. It's just not. So, I know one of his kids was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna run." Yeah, no, son, stay home. You're not your dad. You are not your dad. It don't work that way. Hate it for you. Mm-mm. No, Trump is one of those, very rare occasions of somebody who just, he's just got that thing. You know, he's a failed game show host. I want people to remember that he is a failed game show host.
Well, let's also remind them that one of David Letterman's favorite games to play was Trump or Monkey. And you can go on YouTube and you can find clips of Trump or Monkey. Do you not remember that?
No.
Oh my God, it was brilliant. And so it would always be like, the the top of a like either of Trump's head or an orangutan's head. And then they would play Trump or Monkey. And you had to guess, was it Trump or was it a monkey? And he did that for years.
Ay, ay, ay.
Being
Well,
assaulted by cats over here.
I can see that. I can see that.
Um,
Well,
but yeah,
that's
so Trump or monkey, when you're bored and you don't have anything better to do, go on YouTube and search for Trump or monkey, and you will find that I have not told you a story here. This is for real.
I believe
And
you.
Letterman did it for like years. He used to routinely make fun of Trump all the time. But yeah, Trumper Monkey was an actual thing. I've told people this and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So yeah, but the point in all of that is that the one thing that dictators cannot abide by is being made fun of,
Yes.
being laughed at,
Yes.
and you got to find your joy wherever you can find it. I'm just saying. So uh, my advice is every chance you get, you know, just take the
Find
wind out of his
something.
sails.
Yep.
Yeah,
Find something funny.
find
Find something
something
funny.
that is just ridiculous because this is the world that that we are currently living in, and I will say it's the dumbest. This is the dumbest fucking timeline ever. Oh, before we go,
Okay.
the in all of the bad news, the dumbest thing, and this is saying something, but did you see that Patrick Duffy, who's our Secretary of Transportation and now also apparently the head of NASA, um, that he has decided that what we are going to do is we are going to build a nuclear reactor on the moon.
Stop it.
No, I I promise you that that is his plan. That they want it to be complete by 2030. Uh,
Patrick Duffy or Sean Duffy? Is it Patrick?
no, you're right. Maybe Sean. No, no,
Is it Patrick
Duffy,
Duffy?
whatever the hell his first name is. He's ridiculous.
I gotta look now. I gotta look this up
I'm
because
looking at
now I'm. Oh, you are okay.
yeah,
You tell me because now I'm like, wasn't Patrick Duffy an actor?
Sean Duffy. You're right.
Okay, 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 okay.
What?
Just
Yeah,
saying.
Patrick Duffy is an
Okay,
actor. He's a
okay.
lot smarter and better looking. Um, but yeah, so Sean Duffy has said that they are going to build a nuclear reactor on the moon.
For why?
I got nothing. I don't know how they
Okay.
think that that is helpful, useful. And also, it's not like the moon is important or anything. Um, yeah. So, like, if something were to happen that would fuck up the orbit of the moon, like, you know,
I
um,
think we might all die. I'm just saying
mhm,
things could
yeah,
happen. Chain reactions have been known to happen. I think a big black hole might swallow Earth or something nearly as disastrous. But don't quote me because I'm not a scientist. But we do happen to know a rocket scientist. I'm sure I can ask them.
yes, yes. Yeah, it would be, I think I can say that it would be really, really bad if something happened to the moon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that for me, that was
Whew.
so far. I mean, it is only Thursday. They have like another what,
Two
36
and a half days.
hours,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
left in the week. So, um, yeah, blowing up the moon, if there were to be a meltdown, would seems like that would be like a
How does
really
he plan to erect the structure? And is it going to be encased in something? I mean, where, how, but
well. Not only that,
I
but
mean, first you would have
you also
to,
have to have water. Nuclear reactors require a lot of water. There is
I,
no water on the moon, as far as
right.
I
I mean, but the first thing you have to build is a structure to hold water before you even build the reactor. And then you have to consider how much area you need for the amount of, well, it depends on how big the reactor is. I
know.
never
Hmm.
mind. I'm
Yeah,
trying to logically figure this out on something that has no
uh,
logic. Never mind. Okay.
right. And again, this we're back to the
Don't do that, Brina. Okay. Got it.
we're 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 back to the uh
Hmm.
we can't apply we can you cannot use the same metric to
Yeah.
any of these people of what is normal or logical or whatever. I mean, they are living in some kind of something I don't even that I lack the ability to grasp whatever the hell weird ass world that they are living in that they think that this is going to fly. But pretty much,
Just saying. I
yep.
don't know. All right. Well, um, you have any final words before we uh, go wash our brains out from the confusion?
I do. My
Okay.
final words are these.
Hmm.
Even if you think that nothing that you do is making any difference, do it anyway. uh, we are all in this together,
Yes.
and we have got to just uh, keep pushing. We're just going to keep pushing, and hey, we may die trying, but at least we are not going down without a fight. And I think every little thing matters, and I think we need to be kind to each other. We need to make space for each other. We need to hold space for people that you know. I think all of that is important,
I
and
agree.
that we are living through some crazy wild ass times, and the only thing we have is each other. So
Right on.
those are my final words. Oh, and call your fucking senators, your
Yes.
representatives. Call
Call the
them.
reps. Call the reps. They need to hear from you. Uh, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. We appreciate your support. My final words for this week. Joni Ernst first! Say goodnight, Star.
Good night, Star.
We'll talk to you guys later. Have a safe week.